Welcome to the Standard Bank Blue Couch with Mathabo Tlali. Spirits are ablaze. We are in Jazz Week, celebrating 25 years of the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. And on the couch, we have two individuals who represent the characteristic and the essence of this festival. We have Bonga Sebesho, Group Head of Sponsorships at Standard Bank, and next to him, we have Tutu Puoane, a vocalist, her work impacting the jazz repertoire in contemporary South African jazz music. Good people, hello, how are you?
Good afternoon, Mathabo.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thank you,
Thank you.
We'll start with you, Bonga. 25 years is no small feat. I think it would do us good to just take a moment and think about the origin story. Please provide it for us.
Yeah, the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz is 25 years old this year. An incredible milestone if you think about it. And it started very humble beginnings, State Theatre. And Tutu Puoane had a vision to create a jazz festival, to create a platform for South African jazz music, for jazz lovers, and also obviously to bridge with an international audience.
Yeah.
And it's done amazingly well in those 25 years. Standard Bank has been a partner for 24 of those 25 years, which is an incredible thing in itself. But this year, it obviously is a milestone for the Joy of Jazz.
What is the conviction behind investing in not just South African jazz, but African jazz in totality?
Yeah, we see the arts, creative economy as an incredible platform for nurturing talent, but also for connecting with people. So our business is to connect with people, and through this passion point, we're able to kind of engage the people that we want to talk to, the people that we want to connect with, and I think that's an important one. You speak about on the continent, and our purpose is to drive Africa's growth, right?
Yeah.
And so we're now incredibly lucky that beyond the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, we have festivals, music festivals in 8 other countries that are modeled on Joy of Jazz. But, they've got their own flavor, their own nuance, obviously, speaking to the local audiences. But it's testament to the fact that this is an incredible platform for connecting with our clients, our customers, and the community at large.
And speaking about connecting, Tutu, you are a recipient of the Standard Bank Young Artist Award for Jazz in the year 2004.
Exactly 20 years ago.
Exactly 20 years ago, and now you are headlining at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. Having Standard Bank really co-signing your craft, how valuable has it been for your own journey as a practitioner?
I can tell you that when that phone call came that I was given this opportunity, it was a lifesaver. I think I was depressed. It was my first year in the Netherlands, in The Hague. I was studying at the Royal Conservatory of Music, and I didn't have money. and I was there. The plan was to be there just for 1 year. But, money goes fast. It's cold in Europe. My first time in snow in December. And this call came, and it's just brightened up my day. I'll never forget it. It brightened up my day. And I went to school with a smile that day, and it helped me. This award helped me those last 6 months of my stay in Holland. It was really the best call I could have ever gotten, And just to know at that time that I was not home, but that people are aware of what I'm doing, and people are appreciative of what I'm doing, and people are encouraging me to keep going because, I was really feeling like, okay, I'm going to go home and this is it. I'm stopping this trying to be a jazz musician business, So when this award came, I was like, come on, girl, somebody is looking and somebody thinks that you're doing okay, so keep going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it helped really my mental state at that moment.
No, please speak to young Tutu in 2004. Now, Tutu was considering ditching class, considering dropping jazz as a subject, is now headlining.
Just dropping music, completely. I would say to her, keep practicing. I would say to her, don't let go of practicing the piano. Don't let go of waking up every day and warming up. Keep practicing and take care of your instrument. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
As a singer, I walk around with my instrument all the time. I'm in cold places. I was just in an Uber now, and the air conditioning was way up, and I had to tell this guy, I'm sorry, I know it's cold, it's hot, but can you please turn it down? Because I cannot afford to get sick, you know. So I would tell her to really take care of the instrument.
Tutu speaks about the ethic of training, the ethic of education, and with Standard Bank's programs, we see a lot of young people come into them and grow and bud into stars and memorable members within the jazz community. How important is it, Bonga, to start at that level where people are still finding their voice, people are not yet rounded in their understanding of who they are, and you guys jump in there and take them forward?
Listen, I think it's much like, banking relationships, right? We want to get our clients, our customers, young and grow with them, right? And that's really about it. It's about identifying talent. It's about recognizing your future potential and helping you realize that potential, right? And unlocking that. And ultimately, that's the story of what a bank can do, is to enable you from your current state to your future state. The Standard Bank Young Artist Program has been doing that for 40 years. And it's recognizing artists who have a body of work. So it's not like, just somebody who just showed up. It's somebody who we recognize and say she's got future potential to be a star. And that's what you've done. And that's what so many of our other Standard Bank Young Artists have done. But beyond that, we don't just, that relationship doesn't start and end with the Standard Bank Young Artist Program. We want to see them coming back time and again, performing at the Standard Bank Young Artist stage. And that's why you will see, actually, on the list of performers, we've got multiple Standard Bank Young Artist winners.
Yes.
And it's understood, and I'm glad that the Standard Bank Giraffe Jazz team recognizes that as well. But we want to build an ecosystem, to support and help to support and continue to help support, the people that, we've recognized and we want to work the journey with. And so I hope that the relationship continues to do, and we would hope to see you in many, many more of our kind of platforms and events.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I just say thank you, guys? Because we need the support. We live in a beautiful country, and the talent in this country is just immense. So for institutions to recognize that and not wait for governments to help the people and just do it from themselves is fantastic, and we need that.
If you think about the creative and cultural economies and the arts broadly, and how they are an economic driver. I think not just South Africa, but on the continent, we've got a very youthful kind of population.
Yeah.
And with that comes a lot of creativity and a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And we hope to unlock it. Not just for the sake of that, but actually because it is an economic driver. When people don't have jobs, if they're able to kind of look at this as a way to earn an income.
Yeah.
We want to encourage the musicians, the artists, the visual artists, the makers, the creators, and really just build on this platform of the arts and the creative economy.
Yeah, beautiful.
This conversation here leads to the essence of intergenerational connection, yeah?
Right.
Festivals where we see young and old sharing a space slowly dwindling with this, I don't know if it's a digital age or rather just like the sidelining of people who are getting older, but jazz holds an intergenerational essence. How important is it to have stages that are curated with all age demographics in mind? I'll start with you, Tutu.
I think it's very important, specifically speaking for jazz music. We get better with age. That's really, I fight me or fight Oprah on that, I don't know. But I really believe that we get better with age, and I'm speaking from my own experience. When I was younger, I couldn't listen to myself, for example. I would make an album, and I would listen to it in the process of creating the album, But once the album is out, as young me, I will always find glitches, and it would take me 2 years to enjoy an album that I've made. But I realized that when getting older and being more experienced, also as a musician and growing as a musician, I let go a little bit more, I sound better. My music has more depth. there is more wisdom in. I could, the same song that I sang 20 years ago, and I sing the same song today, it feels completely different because I have lived, I have experienced death, I have experienced birth. So I really think that it's important that people don't get cast aside just because they're old. They come with bags and bags of knowledge and wisdom and experience, and they still need the stages to share that with the younger people.
Yeah, not to be sidelined, but also not to be slighted because you're young, right? Yeah. Kujenga is on stage. Shalim Shope is on stage. We have Tutu Puoane who's on stage. That is such a beautiful and brilliant curation. Why is it important for us to really delve into that?
We cater to everybody, and we don't exclude anybody. And when you come to the Standbank Joy of Jazz, you'll see, the young people. And jazz is not just for older people. In fact, we had jazz masterclasses with, students. And, it's incredible, the passion that, young people have for jazz and obviously music in general. But I think specifically around jazz is that, it does connect. And it's amazing also that it taps into the memory bank, right? Some of the songs that you might have listened to and you think, I don't like jazz, but comes on and you can see that recognition, right? And you can see that familiarity, and people connect immediately because it's tied into family memories. It's tied into kind of pleasant times on a Sunday, listening with your father on radio. And when people reconnect and then rediscover that passion, it's amazing to see.
Yeah.
You speak about jazz being, I suppose, a tool for the familial. And with you being based in Belgium, you are South African. How does jazz help you make sense of the concepts of home and belonging?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. I think it's not necessarily only jazz. I think it's music in general. I think I wouldn't have survived without music in cold Europe, and specifically jazz, being able to, I've seen people who don't speak the same language, who don't speak, you have a Russian kid and a Dutch kid, and they can't communicate, but you tell them, do you know Stella by Starlight? And they know it, and they play together, so...
It's a language, it's a vocabulary.
Yeah. It's really special. People get to know each other by playing, You get to know if somebody is selfish, if somebody listens well, So, yeah, it definitely does connect people in that way.
I'm sure someone is watching Bonga and they're thinking, why jazz? Why this genre? Why in this country? Please take us into the conviction of why the genre and why South Africa.
No, I mean, at a very basic level, it's probably one of the top 3 music genres in South Africa. I'm surprised. After gospel and Afrikaans music is an old genre, jazz music is incredibly popular.
Yeah.
And South African jazz is unique, right? It's unique globally. It stands out, and it's we've got our own unique flavor. And that's what we wanted to capture. That's what we wanted to use as a platform to connect with our audiences. And it's incredible. We can talk banking every day, all day until, but we also have an opportunity to connect when people are more relaxed.
Yeah.
And for them to get to know us and to build this kind of human face and this personality around the bank. So we use it as well as something to identify ourselves, to kind of say that, look, this is who we are, this is what we stand for, these are our values.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think if you think about jazz, we talked about family, we've talked about heritage, legacy.
Yeah.
Those are the emotions, those are the qualities that we want to evoke and, and speak about as a bank and the things that we stand for.
Congratulations, Wrapped in Rhythm. A body of work that's come out in 2024, and you've worked with Ulebu Mashile. You were singing, in essence, her anthology, which she published in 2005, if I'm correct. And I think this body of work really proves the timelessness of jazz as a genre and the timelessness of poetry. a body of work in 2005 being sung in 2024. Why now?
Oh man, that's a very good question. I did not know about this book when it came out 20 years ago. I did not know that people loved Wrapped in the Rhythm. Wrapped, apparently everybody who sees me starts rapping this thing to me. It sounds familiar, but I didn't know. I didn't know the book came out 20 years ago. I discovered it 10 years ago. And it did the same thing to me that it did to everybody when it first came out. And the title of the anthology is called In a Ribbon of Rhythm. Oh, yeah. And it is just the most perfect title because truly those poems in that book are so rhythmical, they're so lyrical, they are so musical. Even some of the poems, the way they are laid out on the page, they look like verse 1, verse 2, bridge, verse 3. They look like a song, you know. And an incredible thing happened when I was paging through that book. I was constantly hearing music, like constantly. I was hearing strings. I was hearing, French horn. I was hearing music all the time. When I was reading this particular book, I would take another book, nothing happened, But this bundle of poetry just drew so much music out of me, and I started to just take my phone and press record. I started to just improvise using her words, Sometimes I wouldn't even read the poem first. I would just open the page, press record, and sing, and just improvise. And it was really a magical thing because some of the songs on this album were created just like that, like me singing through it for the very first time. Thank God she loved the idea when I told her about it 10 years ago. And it had to take this long. It does, sometimes life happens, It had to take this long, I had to wait for opportunities to come to make it happen. The universe had to listen. And I had it was such a scary dream. It was such a huge dream to me because I wanted to do it. I didn't know. Back then, 10 years ago, I didn't know that I would have a material for 2 volumes. Like right now, we have volume 1. And volume 2 is going to come out next year. And I wanted to work with an orchestra because I was hearing strings and all these kinds of different instruments. And volume 2 is recorded with the Metropole Orchestra out of all orchestras in the world. So I'm really excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bonga, Brenda Sasani says so famously that jazz is a beautiful genre and everyone needs an opportunity to play with it. And some would assume that a bank would want to be paternalistic over its stakeholders, and in particular, this artistic stakeholder. How do you relate with the stakeholder, the artist, the musician, taking a step back, allowing people to play? Tutu grabbed a book, paged through it, sang verse, and now we're going to hear this beautiful music at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz.
Trusting the event organizers, trusting the musicians and all the other people who participate in it, that everyone wants the same thing, for this event to be a success.
Yeah.
Right? And we want it to be a success and have longevity. But beyond that, how could we try to contain and control artists and creatives? It's an impossible task. But, we really want to tap into that spirit, actually. We want to tap into that freedom, that passion. And that's what jazz is about. I'm not going to speak on jazz, but one thing I do certainly know is that there are a lot of freedom, improvisation that is, at the heart of it as well. Yeah. The ability to make it your own.
Yeah.
But within that context, we really just want to connect with the audience, the jazz-loving audience, and it's wide, as you said, it's beautiful, and people come through, and it's respectful, and people up. It's really a really great platform, and that is why we've been here for 24 of the 25 years of the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz.
Yeah. Tutu, quite recently on your Instagram page, you spoke so vehemently about the South African audience member, with all of its tragedy, if you will. They are a fantastic, irreplicable, audience, what are you looking forward to with regards to engaging audiences and your own repertoire at the festival?
Yeah, it might be tricky, but this is the Standard Bank. People that come to this festival are jazz aficionados. They really come to listen. This project to me is very important that people grab the words because the words came first. So it's because I have slow songs where I really want you to listen to the words, where the poetry is really important. So I got to find a way somewhere in the middle. I really want them to be quiet to listen, but at the same time, I don't want to take away their freedom. I don't want to take their freedom to say, yes, wanama, which will never happen in Belgium. It will never happen anywhere else but in this country.
Yeah.
And I want them to have the freedom to sing along, but not too much, because maybe in that moment I might want to change the melody, So it's a bit of a juggling game that I have to find in the moment also.
It really is a dance. And looking at the programs that Standard Bank has, Bonga, how do you feel that, in your view, how do these programs also influence how audiences are developed?
Yeah, audience development, and it goes from young. We used to also support the National Arts Foundation Jazz Festival. We're still a partner to the National Arts Foundation, and so in the arts, and that's broad. But we've gone with kids, who are playing there and who've then since emerged. So, and also the audiences that have emerged from there. But beyond that, we also run other development programs for musicians and people in the industry who are looking to access the industry. And so we recently went to Johannesburg Theatre, where we invited students from various tertiary institutions to come through and have masterclasses on jazz. And we believe in so doing that we're not just focusing on those who are already making it like Tutu, but those who are coming through, right? We were a few weeks back together with the Joy of Jazz team at the National School of Arts, running a program there for school kids. It's, whilst some of us have got the familial memories, there'll be still people who are completely discovering this new kind of genre for the first time, and they're blown away.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. So as much as we want to encourage the jazz artists and performers, but we also want to encourage new audiences to come through and to really begin to attend and appreciate this art form.
I think one would be forgiven in not really understanding the global significance of the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz from a practitioner's point of view, to say that I perform at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, or to hear people say we're going to the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. What is the impact from your view of the festival?
It's getting bigger and bigger. This festival is getting bigger and bigger. I cannot tell you how many emails I get, people all over, musician friends that I know based in Germany, based in Poland, based in New York, telling me, do you think that lady, that lady from Standard Bank, Joy of Jazz, I know you know her, I know you're friends with her. Do you think she would mind if you gave me her number? And then I have to go to Sis Mantua and says, Sis Mantua, so-and-so, please check this person. Do you like them? Can I give them your number? People know about this festival, and people want to come to South Africa. People will come to South Africa for free because people want to come to this place, and there's nothing more beautiful than coming to this country and performing for the people in this country. There's nothing more beautiful than that. So the world is really, people know about this festival.
And in closing, Bonga, we've finished 25 years. Silver Jubilee, we're looking into the next. What are you hoping that the generation to come, when looking back at this festival, what are you hoping that they gain?
Yeah, Jubilee, Silver Jubilee, it marks a milestone. And we hope that we'll get onto the Gold Jubilee and the Diamond and Platinum and so on. Because our vision is long-term. Our view is long-term. It's about partnerships. It's about building over time. And, and this is certainly a testament of that. It's a very amazing reflection of that idea of relationships and long-term relationships. We really hope that this festival grows in South Africa. But beyond that, we're hoping that the festivals that we support and partner with grow on the continent. And, we just want to make an impact. We want to make an impact on the communities that we serve. We want to make an impact on the artists. We want to make an impact on, the jazz audiences, the music audiences at large. So, and that's what we hope, that, the next generations will have that stewardship, and really be able to kind of take it to the next level beyond what we, even ourselves can dream of.
Tutu, a teaser. That's it. How will it look like? Or rather, how will it sound like?
It's going to sound amazing. I mean, I always try to find people who are better than me that really elevate the music, You can have ideas, your own ideas in your head, but when you give that idea to a great drummer and a great bass player and a great guitar player and a fantastic piano player, then it becomes something that you couldn't have imagined yourself, So, people, it's going to be fun. That's number one. I keep saying the day it stops being fun, it's the day I quit. It's going to be fun, and my guys are coming, they're landing this evening and tomorrow morning. The people that really helped me, my very loyal band, they've been very loyal for many years, and they've helped me create this body of work. And they're just incredible musicians, and it's going to be a fantastic night, so don't miss it.
Don't you miss it. Thank you so much, Bonga, for your contribution in anchoring this year's festival that is home to many an audience member and refines even the greats within the jazz scene. Tutu, welcome back home, and we are so excited to hear what it is that you have to offer, and we hope to pour into you as you come back home.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining our conversation on the Blue Couch. Good people, get in contact with us on our social media platforms. It is Standard Bank Arts everywhere. And I am Mathabo Tlali. Thank you so much for joining us. And remember that it's Standard Bank, champion of the arts.